In this tutorial, I will showcase the concept of applying a Velum setup to a crowd, and how to have as little warm-up frame as possible, while randomizing the clip times of each agent. I use those tricks to make this Assassin's Creed inspired shot for my demo reel, and without the level of optimization I will showcase, it will have been quite challenging to simulate this much character effects on a consumer-grade computer like I did. I will start by designing a Velum setup, starting with the Mocap Puppet 3 node that I put in rest position, and I will import the skin inside the geometry node. I will drop down a line that I scale along the body, and I will scale it down along the legs, because I just want to make a dress out of it. I will sweep the line, and I want to play with the scale of the sweep, so I need more points, so I use a resample node, and then I apply a scale along the curve to make it tighter around the body. After remeshing it, I can start configuring the constraints. I start by lowering the stretch stiffness, and then I want to attach the top of the dress to the body using the attach to geometry node. Right now we are just playing with a dummy agent, but one of the most powerful aspects of the Velum and crowd tools is that after the crowd simulation we will be able to retarget the attach to geometry constraints to each agent. Finally, I pack the Velum Geo and the constraints, so I can add it to my agent as a layer. I will now build the crowd setup, starting by importing two new animations, a walk cycle and a run cycle without using in-place animation. And inside the geometry node, I will create an agent that will start by importing the rest rig. With the two agent clip, I will import my run and walk cycle. I make sure that they are being converted to in-place animation, and using the hips as locomotion node. I initialize a couple of agents using the crowdsource node without initial velocity, and inside the DevNet I can start building my crowd simulation. My crowd simulation will have two states, the rest state at the beginning of the simulation using the rest clip, and the move state that will either pick between the walk or the run clip. I will trigger a transition at the beginning of the simulation at frame 0 to go from rest to move. If your agents are not moving, they need to be set to locomotive, and if they freeze in time, you need to make sure that the time range to which the animation is imported match the loop of the animation. Finally, I will use the second clip of the walk library, because I know it's a little more Velum friendly. We are now ready to add a Velum layer to our crowd simulation. We will use the Velum setup that we built earlier, and add it to our agent definition using the agent layer node. We make sure that the shape name starts with close underscore, so it will be automatically unpacked after the crowd simulation, and we use the source layer default, so that the body is used as collision geometry. After the simulation, we use the agent edit node to switch to our Velum layer, and we use the Velum agent unpack to retarget every constraint. This gives us everything we need to simulate our Velum, and the geometry you probably want to render is the geometry coming out of the Velum solver, as well as the crowd solver. The main issue right now is that all my animations are perfectly synced to the same clip times. Because the transition is triggered at the same frame for every agent, and the crowd solver starts the transition using the beginning of the target clip. This is useful when you have animation like jumping, where you need the character to start jumping, however in our case we just want to get rid of the T-pose as soon as possible, even if the transition doesn't make sense, because those frames at the start are probably not going to be rendered. If you come to the state node, you can see that you have the option to add a random clip time offset, but this only works when the agent is initialized on the specific state. And we don't want to get rid of the initial rest state to avoid initial collision between the Velum and the agent. The other way to proceed is to randomize when the transition starts. Right now we have 24 frames of warm-up, the duration of the transition from the rest state to the move state. If I start adding a random offset to the beginning of the transition trigger, I will increase the amount of frame I need to wait before getting rid of the rest position, thus increasing the warm-up. Not only that, but I also need to pick a random offset that is the same length of my animation, to have a distribution of clip time that utilizes the full range of my animation set. In our case, I will have to increase the warm-up by 26 frames, that is the same length of my walking cycle. The final way to do it that does not increase the warm-up is to manually overwrite the clip times used by the crowd solver. By looking at the data inside our crowd object, you will see that the geometry contains attributes related to the clip being played. For instance, at frame 1 we have the rest clip playing at the clip time 0. Then when the transition starts, we have a new clip in the clip name array and a new clip time in the clip time array. The issue being that the second value is the same for every agent, as the transition starts at the same frame for everyone. At the end of the transition, the second value overrides the first, and is now being used as the clip time for the current animation being played. So all we need to do to randomize the clip time picked by the transition is to override that second value. We will now randomize the clip time for each agent. In order to achieve that, we will dive into the .NET responsible for crowd simulation. We will drop down a mid-tilt solver after the crowd solver and use a pop wrangle to overwrite the attribute on the geometry. We evaluate the length of the clip times array. If that value is equal to 2, which only happens when there is a transition going on, we will override the second value with a random value between 0 and 1 using the ID attribute, which will be unique for each agent, plus time. Now, each agent has a random offset between 0 and 1 second, and if we want to increase or change that offset, we just multiply it.